not prepared!
Welcome to another video, boys and girls. Today I'm gonna show you what decks I will be playing on day 1 of the new expansion. There are quite a few new interesting archetypes we are looking forward to trying out, but also some old ones that got pretty cool new tools for them. Anyway, drop a like and a subscribe if you still haven't, and ring that bell if you feel like it. Now let's check out the decks. Keep in mind it's not gonna be a great idea for you to be starting crafting decks if you're low on dust, so it's probably gonna be best for you to keep on playing your old decks and see what pans out in a few days. You can be sure I will come out with another top 5 when the meta actually starts settling and we have some stats on HS Replay too, so I will give you ideas of actual working decks that have proven themselves with stats as well. So like I said, if you don't have that much dust, don't craft new decks right now, but you can keep on playing decks like the fast, cheap Zoolock. Face Hunter I'm assuming is gonna be working well in the first few days as well, but probably in the future too. Quest Warlock is gonna be still great because it's gonna be punishing most of the decks. Quest Pirate Warrior should still be fine. Quest Mage should still be fine, and who knows, maybe even Libram Paladin. But yeah, save your dust if you're low on it, and wait for the new top 5 when it comes out. So the first deck on the list has to be Zoolock. I saw this Zoolock from Old Guardian and it really sparked my interest. It has a lot of the old cool cards we are used to with Zoo, but also quite a few new ones that are gonna make it feel nice and fresh. We still have Ritual of Doom because we are gonna be having quite the wide boards. Flame Imp because that is basically what Zoo is. A couple of Tour Guides so we can get some easy free hero powers. Wicked Shipment so we can get the whiteboard we want to. And the reason we want the whiteboard is not only because of the Ritual of Doom, but also for the Tamsin Phylactery, so you can actually have a lot of bodies to get some nice death rattles on them. We also have a couple of Wicked Shipments so we can get the board nice and buffed, 2 Bone Web Eggs that have nice death rattle, but also you can actually abuse Wicked Whispers to discard your Bone Web Eggs like that, because your hand is not gonna be that hard to actually maneuver, so that a 2-drop egg is the cheapest card for you. We also have a couple of Nerubian Eggs because the death rattle is pretty good. Desecrated Graveyard because it's basically a free mana 12/12. Devouring Ectoplasm for more good death rattle goodness. Another Fiendish Circle so we can get a lot of bodies back on the board. The Imp because it has pretty decent stats for the cost, and also it's not the worst death rattle you can be getting too. Sacrificial Summoner is gonna be a pretty great way for you to be cheating out your Nerubian X for instance, but also getting new minions on the board from your deck. And notice that it says it's gonna be costing 1 more than the minion you destroy, so if you use this on a 2-drop Nerubian Egg, you are gonna be drawing some of your good free drops. I'm not really sure if Terran Gorefiend has room in this deck like that, but in the end of the day it does make enough sense most of the part. It's not gonna be that amazing for you to pull him with the Sacrificial on the Nerubian Egg, but in the end of the day it's a frickin' free 4 for free, so why not? Demon Assault is another card that doesn't actually make too much sense for it to be in here, but it's very flexible. And it's gonna be basically your only way of getting taunts, which in some matchups is really crucial. Korak the Blood Rager is gonna be absolutely insane in this deck as well. And if you're in a pickle, you can even use Sacrificial on Korak, and that's not actually gonna be counting as an honorable kill, so he's not gonna die, and you're still gonna be cheating out your Vectus, which I'm not sure is that amazing to be fair, but still, it is a free draw. Again, we have Tamsin Phylactery, which I do have in Golden by the way if you haven't checked out my pack opening, and we finish off here with Vectus, who has pretty decent death rattles to choose from. I'm pretty excited to see how this deck is gonna pan out, and I'm gonna be playing it tonight on stream, so hope to see you there. It's actually a lot more expensive than the Zoo list I was running right now, and it costs a whole 7,300 dust, so it's definitely not as cheap as we're used to. But like I said, I'm not sure about the Vectus, I'm not sure about the Terran. But yeah, Korak and Tamsin are basically very core here. Next up, we have Aggro Druid. I saw this list from No Hands Gamer, and I did a few modifications myself. The main new cards we have here are Frost Saber Matriarch, which is a pretty easy beast for you to be cheating out, and it's also a taunt, so you can be discounting it even further with the Razormane Battle Guard. And it's gonna be a pretty easy minion for you to actually double up with Oracle of Elune nice and early. We also have Guffin here, even though I'm not sure if his place really is here, but it does seem like he can recover some pretty grim games. We have the new Wing Commander, which is gonna be insanely good in clearing the board as well as refilling yours. Frostwolf Kennels, which is gonna be summoning 2/2 stealth beasts for you for free turns, and that also discounts the Matriarch by the way. A couple of Clawfury Adepts, which again are decent beasts with good stats, and it also gives +1 attack to your board for a turn, so that's pretty nice too. Other than that, the rest is basically Aggro Druid from the past. We still have Adorable Infestation because it gives you a couple of beasts, so you can discount the Matriarchs, and we all know it was a good card to begin with. I still like to have 2 Druids of the Reef, because it's basically one of the strongest 1-mana cards in the game right now. There's room for only 1 Guardian Ugg Merchant in this one for me. We're not running Bone Chewer anymore, so you don't have that good synergy with your deck, but we still like to have one so we can ping off some 2-1s in the early game, or just do some favorable trades with Divine Shield later on. We also have 1 Peasant because it's a pretty good 1-drop, a couple of Vibrant Scrolls which are also going to be discounting your Matriarch from them as well as from the Death Rattle it has. Composting still pretty good, couple of Pack Mules because it's taunts and beasts, couple of Razor Mains because they're pretty good, but we actually don't have that many cheap taunts in this one, so keep that in mind. So if you're keeping Razor Main, you also have to keep Pack Mule or get lucky enough to get him on curve. Oracles obviously, Bark Panthers as well, couple of Arbor Ups, Grave Owl and 1 Teacher's Pet, and that's about it. The grand total for this one is 6,900 dust, which is again pretty expensive, so be careful crafting new decks on day 1. This is another deck I will be playing on stream tonight, so hope to see you there, so you can check out the games with it and see if you enjoy how it pans out. And the last deck I will be playing tonight is gonna be Freeze Shaman, again from No Hands Gamer. Here it's basically a new archetype. We will be having a couple of Devolving Missiles because Death Rattle greedy decks will probably be emerging a lot. Wind Chill because it's an amazing freeze card and you also draw a card. Auction House Gavel combined with Cage Master Custodian so you can have some decent card draw in the early game and also discount your battle cries so you can combo off well. Frostbite is gonna be a pretty good removal for us, but it's also gonna be a problem for the opponent if they want to be casting some spells, because it's actually gonna be easy for us to make them cost 2 more. Sleet Breaker so you can get another Wind Chill, because we are running 2 Wind Chills and 2 more are not gonna hurt, so you can keep that card draw going and also freeze for cheap. Brilliant Macaw, which can repeat the battle cry for all of our good battle cry cards. Cheaty Snowball because it works well with the deck, Fireheart so you can get that random goodness, a couple of Serpentshire Portals for reach as well as removal. Snowball Fight for some AoE freezing potential, Multicaster because we are running spells from 3 different schools, so this should always be drawing at least 1, but more often than not 2 cards at least. We also have Wildpaw Caverns, which is a 4-mana side objective that is gonna be summoning a 3/4 freeze elemental for you for 3 turns. So again, the value is pretty decent there. Snowfall Guardian is gonna be a pretty big hitter for us, and it's gonna be comboing off pretty well with the Battle Master, which is one of your ways of finishing off the game nice and fast. Baron Glacier is obviously in this list as well, and you should have no problem flooding your board with him as soon as turn 6 or 7. And we have Brucon of the Elements at the end, which doesn't really fit too much into the deck, but it's a control-y card with a lot of potential on it, so who knows. We should definitely be keeping an eye on it, to say the least, and also don't feel you need to be crafting it to try this deck. This is another expensive deck, but for control it's actually cheap, sitting in just under 7,000 dust. So what I'm basically trying to say is, drop by the stream, won't ya? Anyway, that's gonna be it for this video guys, hope you enjoyed it and I hope it helps you figure out what you want to be playing tonight when the new expansion drops. Thanks for watching, I'm Kris05 and I'll see you in my next video, or stream.